Welcome to another episode of the NFC South versus the NFL. I'm one of your hosts, DJ.
It's your boy Mike Riggs. Keep pounding.
Oh man, whatever. As you can see, we missing one of our brothers that gonna sit out for this episode mainly because we got a Thursday night game matchup, an NFC South matchup.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man.
The Panthers and the Bucs.
Yes, sir. But before we jump into that, man, I do want to send a shout out to TJ. He's safe. He's good where he stay at. Just want to give a little shout out to the Myrtle Beach area. You understand that? Yes, sir, man. Glad most of y'all are safe out there.
And hey, and prayers go out to people that in the Bahamas and other areas that were affected.
Absolutely.
By this travesty. I mean, it is hurricane season. It seems like we're seeing this a lot.
Yeah.
Areas are getting destroyed. And it's sad to see. And all you can do is basically stay prayed up and keep your faith. And just do whatever you can to stay safe, basically, because
yeah, man,
it's rough.
Right, prayers out to y'all, man. But that's what we here for, man. We here for some sports to kind of get your mind off some things, man, and bring some little entertainment about the NFC South.
Well, for the two teams sitting right here, we might want to forget what happened last week. As we both know, and everybody else watching this, and if you're a Bucs fan or a Bucs fan or a Panther fan, guess what? You are 0-1. You were 0-1 to start the season. But
yes,
with that being said, we know Super Bowls aren't won week one. And what we're going to do is recap what happened week one. We're going to talk about the matchup, the Panthers versus the St. Los Angeles Rams at Bank of America Stadium, where our Thursday night game is going to take place as well.
Right.
Take us through what happened with these Panthers. I enjoyed it until my game come up. But anyway.
And yes, my Carolina Panthers. Like DJ said, we 0-1. And in my opinion, it's not a bad one. Kind of saw this as it could go either way. So let's just break down the game, man. Had some standout players. I want to be positive about it. We wanted to come in and establish a running game, and we were able to do that. Wanted to see what this new front was going to look like, especially with the addition of Gerald McCoy and Bruce Irvin, who unfortunately wasn't able to play. So we started the rookie Brian Burns. I do want to mention him briefly. I thought Brian Burns had a decent game. He made a great tackle for loss, right place where he was supposed to be. But against the run, he struggled, and that's part of growing pains, and he's definitely going to do that. He was very, very close on a lot of plays, getting sacks, things like that. But as a rookie overall in his first start, I didn't think it was bad. The defense as a whole, I want to give them kudos, except for late in the game. Other than that, they came out flaming, balling, getting stops. Really, in my opinion, didn't give up any points. The first touchdown they got, I blame on the offense. So they gave up a couple field goals. Other than that, I thought they played really, really well. But it seemed to be like they wore out late in the game because the Rams were able just to run all over us late in the game. Gurley got close to 100. That Brown kid, he was beast, and we were feeling him. When he was running, he was hurting. And it showed late in that game. Shout out to the defense, though, man. Secondary is much improved. I really like what we got. We got 2 guys from DBU. Like I said, I liked what we had back there. It was only a matter of just seeing it. It's 1 game, though, but it's promising. So shout out to Bradbury and Dante Jackson and Eric Reed and also Trey Boston, who led the team in tackles, actually. Let's talk about offensive line, offense. I thought they did pretty good. They got some miscommunication on offensive line. One play particularly, Dante Fowler had a heck of a stunt, and they were with Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald's going to attract 2. So with that stunt, somebody was supposed to come off and chip, at least try to get a little block or something. They just stuck to Aaron Donald and said, Dante Fowler, you just going to have to hit Cam because Aaron Donald ain't having no shot. So he got rocked a couple times there. Kurt Cole, DJ Moore. Kurt Cole had decent day, nothing spectacular. He only had 4 attempts. We got to find a way to get him the ball more, especially when C-Mac is touching it 30 times. DJ Moore. Let's talk about him. Growing pains. Man, the costly fumble. And especially when we were inside the 30, he had an opportunity to score, whether to get a field goal or a touchdown. The way we were moving the ball, I said this before on the ride along, I definitely believe we were getting in that end zone because there was nothing they could do to stop us on that drive. But except for create a fumble, they were able to stop us inside the 30. The pass from Cam. I'm going to touch on Cam a lot lately. We're going to have a little discussion about him. It was tipped. They said it was backwards. All of that. I guess that was the case. I think it hit DJ Moore's hand. I think that he got a little lackadaisical and thought it may have been incomplete, and so he didn't immediately jump on it. Then he finally was like, oh, shoot, and tried to have a little delayed reaction. By that time, they already recovered it, which created one of their scores. But I also want to say, man, be encouraged definitely with Christian McCaffrey because he got off. He got off. And being out there at the game, I went with my father-in-law, man, it was hot as I don't know what. So to see that boy run that thing like he was running and didn't have an offensive play off and still had that power and that heart and that desire at the end of the game, kudos to him, man. Nothing but props and respect. But we got some things we got to work on. We got to definitely work on our communication. We definitely have to find a way to get other guys the ball and take care of the ball. 3 turnovers are way too many. You can't have turnovers in this league and expect to win games. But with all that being said, Panther Nation, I think you need to be encouraged because there was a team that represented the NFC last year in the Super Bowl. I know it was last year, new teams, new things, but this team is pretty much the same, except for Sue and a couple other guys. But they've got Clay Matthews, yeah, Sue. They got Clay Matthews, and they also got Eric Weddle. Other than that, I also want to bring up one more thing. It's not really even worth mentioning, except for we wasted a number 1 draft pick on Vernon Butler. Vernon Butler he didn't even make the, 48? Is it 48? I think it's 53, but then you only activate, I can't remember, that can actually play. Excuse me for not knowing right offhand, but he wasn't injured. He wasn't anything. He was just one of the guys that we were like, well, you made the team, but since we can only suit up a certain amount, you're not going to make that cut. That's not encouraging, man. That feels like a wasted first-round draft pick. Dave Gettleman, please trade us something for him so you can get your boy back. Last thing I'm going to talk about, and now, DJ, I want you to get into it. Ron Rivera calling the plays defensively. The first half, much props and respect to you. I love it. It's so much better with you calling plays versus Eric Washington. So I believe if Eric Washington would have been coaching that game, it would have been a potential blowout. Because that's not a team to play with, regardless who we had out there on the field. With that being said, Sean McVay out-coached Ron Rivera, especially the second half. Even though we actually won the points in the second half, Sean McVay coached in a way to make sure that he left that daggone game with the win. And that was ball control, and that was running that field. He saw Goff wasn't doing what he was supposed to do because Goff missed a lot of passes, people that actually were open. So he said, hey, you know what we're going to do? If this is working, we're going to run it. They ran the ball 30-plus times for 166 yards. Very intelligent, very smart. And Ron, for some reason, he said it himself. He got a little reserved, and Sean McVay outcoached him pretty much. And offensively, North. There's a stat out there when Christian McCaffrey has, I think, 10 or maybe 10 or more catches, we're like 0-7 or something. And when he carries the ball, I don't quote me on that. I don't even want to say that one. But I love C-Mac to death. Like I just said, I'm going to give him all the props in the world because that man's heart is something special. But if we don't find another or some more reliable sources to be able to get the ball to, or find some type of creative way to make sure that they get the ball, we're going to be in a heap of trouble. So, hey, we got running backs with what the world we get them for. We drafted one, we got them, we kept 4 at one point. If they're not going to see the field at all. You did the same thing when we had C.J. Anderson, and C.J. Anderson go to the Rams and ball out and make his way to a Super Bowl. I get it. C-Mac is special, but you have to be creative to find a way to say, hey, C-Mac can play receiver. We can put this guy out here. We can have 2 backs. We can do something. I don't know. You got to figure it out. I'm not an offensive coordinator. You got to figure it out. Curtis Samuel is too, in my opinion, fast, athletic, to not be able to touch the ball enough. I mean, he has to be able to get more than 4 targets. DJ Moore, I thought DJ Moore had like 7 catches for, I want to say, 70, 80 yards. But Dennison is very turnover prone. He got more turnovers than touchdowns. That I don't like that. So, but he has to grow. But we need to get Hogan. I don't get somebody. Ian Thomas, somebody. We got to get somebody else involved. Because Greg, even though I think he still has the ability to catch pretty much anything that's thrown at him for the most part, he's struggling to. You can tell that he's lost not just a step, but like 2 running. But he's Mr. Reliable, so I'm not gonna knock him because I like him over as a starter than Ian Thomas. But you still have to respect him. But North Turner, when Cam Newton's headset goes out ever again, and we have to call a timeout because we do a terrible job of game managing, especially timeouts, end of the game, all of that. And he comes to the sideline to try to get that fixed, and we go back out there and we don't have a play. Or we don't know what we're running, where we got to go get a delay of game. That is ridiculous. We're already inside the 30. It's pretty at 30. That's at least a field goal or opportunity to score. And then when you do call a play after we get a penalty, it's some little weak draw. Just say, let's just try to get it a little closer. We can kick the field goal and make it. And, man, you could have done that when Cam was getting his headset fixed. That wasn't nothing creative about that. So we just wasted 5 yards and a timeout for nothing. End up missing the field goal. Hey, man, y'all got to do better. But other than that, man, Panther Nation, I don't want to end on a negative. I want to say we are definitely going in the right direction. Be encouraged. I'm going to touch on Cam a little bit later, man. He played I thought 3/4 of the game really well. And I'll explain a lot of that later when we go into it. But as of right now, be encouraged. I think we're moving in the right direction. Don't jump off the bandwagon yet, because I think this team can be special. That's all I got for right now, DJ. I do want your little assessment on us, man, because I know you watched it. Oh, I know you watched it.
Oh, you know I watched this. Oh, you know I watched it.
So,
I mean, I would say for the most part, I would agree with you. I mean, I do think y'all came out very slow. You know, the only person on offense at least looked like they were ready to go was C-Mac. I mean, C-Mac came out from the gates just looking like he's going to be the offense. Like you mentioned that North Turner has to find other ways to get other people involved. I didn't see it. And that's why when you said that, I was right there with you because I mean, it's a long season. I mean, if you're expecting Christian McCaffrey at the end of the day, I think this man might be Superman, but shoot, Superman got kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? It takes one wrong cut. I'm not wishing anything on this kid because, I mean, that right now, I need him. I don't want to see him get hurt, but this is the NFL. He plays probably the position that gets hurt the most. And y'all used the hell out of him the first week. And that cannot continue. But he looked good. Don't take away. It's not like he looked like he was ever in this game fatigued. And I'm like, when will this guy get tired? For all the stuff that he was doing, it didn't look like it was happening. So that was very encouraging to watch. Like I said, for the most part, your offensive line, there was no sighting of Aaron Donald. Encouraging. But the problem is, like you said, miscommunication, which I'm going to play the Bucs. I hope that's the case. But outside of that, when you're talking about straight up blocking, for the most part, y'all look good. I mean, I guess I ain't really go into that with my Bucs, but tackles need some. I don't want to go into it. It needs some work. Defensive wise, surprisingly, your secondary did look really good. Shaq Thompson, I made mention in the preseason. I understand why he didn't play. I still, to this day, I don't care how he did have a good game. I still understand why he didn't play. I don't care what anybody said.
Me.
I still understand it. Out against the run, quick, fast. He looked good, but just to mention, Thomas Davis is really in the NFL at tackle. So I'm gonna say it though. But yeah, he looked good. Luke. He didn't really flash that much, but I mean, I know what he probably was doing on the field. He didn't need to flash. I mean, he called out probably everything that those stops that y'all made was the reason probably for it.
Right.
I ain't down that part. Like I said, our middle linebacker didn't, flash all the way either. So I mean, it's just week one, but everybody knows what Luke is. He didn't he lost a step. I mean, he still was, from what I saw, when the ball was snapped, he was going the right direction every damn time. So that wasn't the problem. Defensive wise, like you said, what was it? Bruce Irvin wasn't able to really play. That probably did hurt y'all. I think that your D-line, Golf was getting the ball really quick, so I will take that. But for the most part, it wasn't a lot of pressure from the front. From what I saw, which obviously, being a Bucs fan, brought a little smirk to my face because you have a certain gentleman on that line that looked like everything I expected him to look like in a Panther uniform. Because prior to him getting there. Well, as Bucs fans, we got to see it, and I warned them. Jesus Christ, Gerald, he has done a lot, in his league. He's earned his credentials. But there's a reason why I released him. A lot of Panther fans, Mike included, thought it was like, oh, you're just mad because he ain't a Buck.
Right.
Really not. It's one game. We're going to always put that out there. But this one game so far looks like it's y'all problem, Panthers. And he's not started against the run, which going into week 2, we're going to talk about it. I hope he starts more. But outside of that, KK quiet, but at the same time, he didn't stand out as a problem to me. So that means something. That means he wasn't bad. We have Addison, not much. But once again, I think, like you said, Sean McVay neutralized a lot of your line with a lot of the quick passes, quick like wide receiver screens, Woods real quick and getting. So I mean, it's not a total indictment on your line. They just weren't impactful, probably due to what he was doing on offense. So it did put a lot of pressure on your secondary. Your secondary, for the most part, played well. And like I said, on offense, didn't see a lot at the beginning. Y'all showed a lot of heart at the end to climb back into the game. Fell short. But you need more to see, man. Cam Newton missed some, receivers to be expected week 1. He didn't play much in the preseason. Be honest, like you said, I don't see a lot of chemistry out there. I mean, with receivers that have been there, but once again, is that a North thing or a Cam thing? We don't really know.
That's true.
I will mention that. I'll give him a little mulligan when it comes to that. Cam missed players. You see a lot, but at the same time, you can't tell right now, is it Cam just relying too much on Christian McCaffrey, or is it Turner relying too much on Christian McCaffrey? It's hard to see either way. So overall, we still know what the Panthers are. We still know what the Bucs are. All together, it looks like the defenses are going to be pretty stout. And that's how I feel about the Panthers. At the end of the day, you took the L like we took it. So we both go into this game 0-1.
Yeah, man.
That's what it all comes down to, is those records.
Yeah, we took the L. So
let's talk about records.
Yeah, let's talk about this other L that happened in the South.
So I'm up. So after the Panthers, like I said, had a little smirk, like, okay, time to come to Ray J, handle some business, get out of there. I knew it was going to be an ugly game, but I didn't expect it to be that. I mean, and obviously the outcome of the game was not what I was expecting. I was not expecting to lose to this 49ers team that I think that did not outplay us. We outplayed ourselves, obviously. As you all know, the Bucs lost 31-17 in a game that, if you would have thought, we might have just lost the last game of the season and just went 0-16 by the way people are reacting to this game right now. So let's go a little bit into it, what we saw. Sloppy first half. Not much to really go into. I'm going to go into it, though. Offense, for the most part, nothing was moving. Peyton Barber, for the most part, he couldn't break loose for anything. We saw a lot of what I'm going to call stale stick routes, like a lot of short passes in the first quarter. A lot of 3-and-outs. Obviously, that block got punt. That punt got blocked.
Boy, they got you jacked up over there.
It was just so much, like, when you think about what happened in this game, it was so messy. And like Mike mentioned, in Charlotte, Tampa was hot, sticky, nasty. And I mean, the heat at first you can tell was affecting both teams more on offense than I think defense. Because those defenses, when they first came out, both sides of the ball, they were flying around. And they were taking advantage. Both teams were taking advantage of all situations. I mean, outside of just penalties and laundry all over the field, it's just so hard because that first half was just a mess. You had a touchdown call back from Kittle with a holding penalty. Oh, no, an illegal formation penalty that stopped San Francisco 49ers for a touchdown. You had a Cam Brate touchdown off a screen, that a phantom hold. That first touchdown should have been a touchdown. DeMar Dotson didn't hold nobody. That was not a hold. That second one, that was a hold. Yeah, that one, I can see why they called that one back. So, you look at it, you kind of look at it even because both were called back. Oh, yeah, Quan Alexander. The return of Quan to Ray J was very short-lived. In the second quarter, helmet to helmet with Jameis Winston. This is the day and age we live in when, 2019, protecting the quarterback. To be honest, I'm happy they at least called it because, in the past, I think that might have not got called. But it is what it is. Quan was hyped up. When you go back and play the tape, initiate contact with the helmet, maybe he didn't mean to do it, but they're protecting the quarterback. He got, ejected from the game. It looked like it gave San Francisco new life. Yeah. So let's just start getting into the net. Just basically the mess that would be turnovers. We're going to start off with the O.J. Howard turnover. I think it was third down, caught the ball. It was like third and 20 something. I don't remember what it was. Catches the ball, doesn't secure it, gets it punched out, turnover in the red zone. Points left on the board, points left on the field. Then obviously, O.J. Howard had a horrible game. This was probably by far the worst game I've ever seen O.J. Howard play as a Buccaneer. Like I said, I might just talk about him before we talk about anybody else. He fumbled twice. He had a tip pass that should have been a catch, like he was falling down, coming out of his route, and he mistimed the ball. And next thing you know, that's Jameis Winston's first pick. If we're going to talk about Jameis Winston, but that one, Peyton Barber, he fumbled, but he got the ball back. I don't know. It was just all together. It was just a mess at the beginning. The only bright spot was the defense. Everybody know Vernon Hargraves got a pick six, beautiful, perfectly timed. It was great to see. Game was 7-3 for a while, and I think going into halftime it was 7-6. That's when things started hitting the fan when we came out in the second half. Basically, there we just started seeing. That's when the turnover started. Jameis Winston threw what appeared to be, and I guess Bruce Arians came out later and said it was a wrong route. I guess Peyton Barber cut his route short. It was a 5-wide formation. Peyton Barber was the wide out receiver against Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman was playing off coverage. He looked like he didn't even really look at Peyton Barber as a threat. He didn't really play him because the miscommunication, the ball fell in his lap. And Richard Sherman got his first pick six is 2013. Everybody was ready to blame James. I was mad, but it just something didn't look right. So, I was like, whatever. At that point, the game was 13-7. So, whatever. And as I'm talking about all this thing, I'm starting going more into the offense, but the defense altogether, Vita Vea, he looked good. Sue, he was all right. He wasn't great. William Golston, who I mentioned during the preseason, looked good, continued to look good in the regular season, which was no surprise to me. Seemed like a lot of people were surprised by William Golston. I'm not. He's in a 3-4 scheme, which his body type fits so much better. And we're already seeing it week one. I guess I've been talking about some more positives because, I don't want to continue going. My thoughts are starting to get lost in just the cluster of what was the offense. Defensively, Devin White looked like a rookie. Wasn't bad, but he still has a lot to learn and do, and also being, basically the captain of the defense, having the green helmet. He seemed like he was more guessing than playing because I would say he was a step behind a lot of things that happened. But overall, the defense did well. I mean, I think they held them to almost like 250 yards total offense. And we all know where the San Francisco 49ers got their points. It came from pick sixes thrown by Jameis Winston that everybody's ready to crucify and telling he's done, this, that, and the third. And basically, I'm just going to get into it. The play that everybody's talking about that I think a lot of people, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a Jameis supporter, it turned my cheek a little bit. This play definitely caught me and was like, you can't have this, going into your fifth year. And I remember the reaction when I saw the play and my mouth was just open. I couldn't believe I watched what I watched. Like I said, the other two turnovers, those didn't bother me. That last one in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, that was tough to watch. Even as a supporter, you gotta dirt that thing. You see all that. You see play like that all the time. Either a lineman releases a lineman too early, and the screen doesn't develop. What happens? You see them all the time. They dirt the ball. Like they'll throw at somebody's feet. Take the intentional. I don't care what you do with it. Just don't. Nah, you don't do that. And basically, when you're talking about the score altogether, I mean, 31-17, the difference is 14 points. Where those 14 points came from? To Jameis pick sixes. I mean, you have a lot of reasons to be upset about the game, but I'm not falling out with Jameis Winston or this coaching staff or this team. I saw a lot of encouraging things that I'm looking forward to. I'm going to talk about later. I know I rambled and ran a little bit because this game was all over the place. And as I'm talking about it and thinking about all the things that happened, it was sloppy. So I'm going to bring it back and basically say, I guess I'm going to point out a couple players that I did like and I saw that I am going to give a little clap to like Mike did. Rojo, thank you for, I'm not going to say proving the Dallas wrong because I was week one, but I know once again, maybe I'm just a homer. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I never thought this kid was a bust after 1 year. Let's just put it at that. I never was like, oh, I'm done with this kid. I wasn't on that boat. That first year was suspect by all means. But obviously he committed this offseason to get a little bigger. He looks obviously faster, more decisive. Like he's hitting the hole with a purpose. He's breaking tackles. And obviously we're seeing the offensive line, they're opening the holes a little better in the run game. In the pass game, we might need some work. But the running game looks like it's going to be okay this year. So that was good to see. Obviously, Vernon Hargrave's pick six. That was great to see. Offensive. I mentioned Rojo. There's not nobody I can really see on that offense. I mean, Mike Evans was sick. You can see it on the field. It didn't even look like Mike Evans out there. I mean, the effort he put towards some of them passes that usually he would, put a lot more in. He wasn't doing it. I mean, he obviously wasn't himself. Basically Rojo our offense and defense. Hargraves, like I said, William Golson I already mentioned. Vita, nobody was running up Vita's hole. Like you did not see that. That was great to see. Levante David. For somebody that tore, or had a partial tear, I didn't see it. Dude was flying all over the place. And now I'm flipped to the other side. Obviously, Jameis Winston, that's not good, man. I mean, especially that last pick. When that one happened, you definitely on the crap list for this week, but you get a quick way to turn around. But I'm still there, Jameis. I still believe in you. I'm going to give reasons why later. And on defense, my dud of the day, I'm going to call him that. Darian Stewart. Why is this man out there? Like, everything that happened in this game, rewatching this tape, as I watched it live, I was already mad at watching this man play. I went back and watched the All-22 and I almost threw my tablet across the room. Like, he infuriated me so much to watch him play.
Right.
It was sickening. Like, everybody like to talk about how, Justin Evans, I know he's on IR, which I should have mentioned that at the beginning. Can't tackle. This dude can't tackle. I don't know who taught him how to tackle. He doesn't tackle. Like, he doesn't no form tackle. He doesn't bring his arms. He always just tries to give a shoulder thud. Misses a lot. I think he finished the day with like 3 tackles, but he had an opportunity to have like 15 because he was right there to make so many plays, but didn't. Somebody tell me what's wrong with Mike Edwards. Mike Edwards sighting I needed because, like, I don't know what else we got behind Darian Stewart. Are we that desperate? Get him off the field. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. That probably was everybody mad at James. I'm mad at Darian Stewart. That dude is, oh my God, I hate to say use the word for bum right now, but he played off. I didn't like his game, and I didn't like for what the defense was doing. He just, you know what? I'm done. You know what? Yeah, go ahead. I'm done.
Well, I'm gonna give my 2 cents on the game. I agree with everything that you said, man. I didn't see, and these were captains, and I want to mention some of the captains because I was paying close attention to them. Carl Nassib got an opportunity to be a captain. I believe it's first of his career, and I didn't really see much of him. Your running back, I forgot his name. You know, it's him. Yeah, he had a couple mistakes too that happened throughout the game, but for the most part, man, they didn't make much of a difference. But I was very impressed. Mainly with the defense. I think the scheme is really good and set for the talent that you have. They weren't perfect as week 1, but I saw enough of good things to show me that this is a totally different team. This team in the past has not been able to really play great defense or run the ball. These are things that most Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans have been asking for, to be able to run the ball and play much better defense. That's what happened. So if that's a tale of what's to happen for the future, I think y'all are in good hands, because I don't think Jameis is going to play every game like he just played this game. He's going to have his, and it's shown in his career. He's had his moments where he's played really good games and balled out. So if he can put the string together of those type of games that he's balled out, and this defense can continue to play that they're playing the way they're playing, but get better, and the running game is still there, don't lose faith, man. It's. I know I should be going at you right now, but I'm gonna be real. The things that you all have asked for, I think, are starting to show up, and it may not happen right now. This is a new offense and new offensive coordinator. Anytime most people start with new offenses, it takes some time. So allow a couple weeks for things to adjust. I know it's heartbreaking because most of y'all put the 49ers as a win when y'all were doing the season projections. So, hey, man, I would say stay encouraged. We'll talk about the game later on. So I'm not going to say what I really want to say. But Jameis is going to have to get better. He'll be better.
Well, Mike, first of all, you owe me an apology because I told you behind that defense was going to be different.
I don't owe you nothing. I told you about Jameis.
Let's talk about that right now.
Because I told you about Jameis.
And I'm happy we mentioned that name. Okay.
Hold on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But that's what's up, man. Go check us out on Facebook, man. You're probably looking at it now, but if you're on YouTube and you're looking at the Facebook, check it out. It's NFC South versus the NFL.
And comment.
Yeah, comment.
We definitely gonna get a little more involved with our fans or people, and have fun.
Yeah.
Send more messages. Let us know what you want to see or do, or we're new to this.
Right.
For things, and we're still looking for a Falcon.
Boy, you took the words out of my mouth.
Wanted Falcon if they have fans. I know. I can't wait. We got another show coming up.
Yeah.
Talking about the rest of the division along with the NFL.
Right. It's gonna be fun. Just put it that way. Be tuned in and be ready for that, because we're gonna really go in this time. This time was about the battle of the South.
First one of the season, Thursday night.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
If I had a Twitter handle, which I'm gonna get one. I know I said in my first video I'm gonna get one. I haven't done it yet. I'm gonna get a Twitter handle. But yeah, tell your friends, tell everybody. Join the Facebook group, YouTube. We're gonna get a little better with posting videos up there.
Yeah.
It's all pretty new to us, but football is not new to us, so it's a little more natural to do this talking media part of it.
Yeah, man. And if you can follow me on Twitter, man, it's MikeRicks07. Also, man, you can check out the YouTube channel. Once you check out the YouTube channel, please make sure that you subscribe and click that like button, and also hit the notification bell up there, and I'll let you know every single time we upload videos. You get them instantly so you can check them out. There's not much media for the NFC South, man, so we're trying to make sure we bring a lot of attention to news and updates and things like that, man. National media is always about the NFC East and the AFC North. Really, really, really good teams down here. So we're trying to make sure we represent for y'all. So make sure y'all support, man, and we appreciate it.
Yep. And this is from DJ signing out.
That's right. It's your boy Mike Ricks. Keep pounding. We out.
See you today.